Okay. Hello, this is Francine Houston, your host from the Artist in You. And today we have two people from Joy 365. Barry, you would like to introduce yourself, and then we'll have Dr. Hayes next.
Yes, good morning. My name is Barry Racoma. It's a pleasure to be here again. Yeah, that's about it right now.
Okay, and we say, is your name Marie?
It's Myri.
Oh, Myri. Would
Yes,
you like
ma'am.
to introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. I am Myri Hayes. I'm affectionately known as the group home queen. Um, I do behavioral health group homes out of Arizona, and I'm an author, I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, and amongst other things, I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Okay. Well, I want to ask y'all the question. Well, y'all can take turns, whoever want to go first. What compels you to join Joy 365 devotional?
I'll put it over to Myri first.
Okay.
Okay. So I actually had spoke with Dr. Blackwell in regards to just collaborating on a project, and she brought up the Joy 365, and at that period of time I was uh deep in therapy, I guess, going through how to find joyful things in life, so it just fit right into what I was doing. So
Okay. What about you, Barry?
Uh, Slightly similar. Transitioning from being married to not being married, uh, starting a new career, which happens to be my dream career, and then changing locations in the space of 2 years. I moved 3 times. So taking on this project when it was presented to me, at first I was hesitant about it, but then I prayed on it, gave it some thought, and I decided to take that leap of faith and join.
Okay. Would you mind, Dr. Hayes and Barry, to tell me what your chapter's about? If you don't want to say it, you don't have to. I can go read the book. I got it on Kindle, so it's up to you.
no, I'm fine. Mine's is about basically being a blessing to others, finding joy in being a blessing to others. Saying that I always say every time I make a video or end anything is be a blessing to someone else. And that's what helps me to find joy. And that's basically what my chapter was about.
Okay.
Well, my chapter is about personal reflection. Uh, Again, looking within myself and identifying my faults and then also my strengths and just giving inspiration to those that may be going through something similar to what I did.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm in the project as well, but I ended up writing about grief because there was a lot of grief people passing in my family, so I had to figure out how to have joy outside of dealing with grief. But that's why I asked. But how do y'all find the time to write these chapters? Because it seemed like you said you moved 3 times in 1 year, Barry, and then you have like you a group point. Like, how do y'all find the time to do this?
Well, initially I moved 3 times. It was again for my career. I was in an apprenticeship, so it was a 2 year long apprenticeship. So I had to go to different locations to get my training. So now I'm pretty much permanent here in Nevada. But as far as finding time to write, again, 365 has been a blessing to me because it's opened up a whole new genre as far as writing because I never really did any too much writing. And being in Nevada, I also wanted to get back into exploring and camping and hiking because after 20 years of being in the military, kind of burns you out deploying, going to the field every 30 days, 60 days. So when I retired, I really wasn't into it anymore. But then again, I was trying to embrace new things with a new life. So Nevada provides plenty of places to see these hidden gems, right? So I had no shortage of topics to talk about as far as historical value as well.
Okay.
Cool.
What about
Well,
you?
I would say I would say that people make time for what's important to them. And my personal development is important to me. And so I journal and a lot of projects, I guess, writing projects, different things that I've worked on. It's came out of something I've already journaled and I just kind of expanded on it. So,
Okay. So, when is the best time of the day you find to write?
mm. Oh, me? Okay. So
We're going back and forth.
really, it depends on what period of time, like what I have going on. But most times it's gonna be first thing, and I'm that type of person that make lists at night the night before. So it may, if something comes to me and I have to write it down, it's gonna be before I go to bed. So either first thing in the morning when I wake up after my meditation, or last thing at night. So that's just me.
For me, it's directly after one of my adventures. Like I said, during the summer, I'm either on my motorcycle, I'm hiking, I'm camping. This year, this winter, just finished a couple hikes. So I try to jot down outline uh, after. That way, it's still fresh in my mind. But then I also refer back to my video footage to capture specific details. And then also, I do look into the background of the area that I was exploring, the historical. So I can add that as well.
Okay. Um.
So for me, it's the same day.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
How do you know what to write? Like, do you have like an inkling? Like, okay, today I'm gonna write about this, or like,
Well, for me, it's about the location. Like I said, last week did a hike in Bridgeport, California. So location, you still got to research for the hike or the adventure that you're going to go on. So I give a little bit of background about the area, the terrain, and things of that nature. So, and then, like I said, I will go back to if there's any historical value in there. So, I'll jump on Google, the internet, see if there's anything of interest there that my readers, the viewers would like to know about.
Hmm.
okay,
Me, it's kind of all over the place. I just put it all out there and then I pick pieces, I'll go back and read and be like, oh, okay, and I'll pull out of it. So I guess I just throw everything out there.
um, so how long does it take you to write a book? Or this is the first project you ever did?
Again, this is my first of two collaborations. Initially, so 365, never written a book, never even thought about writing a book. The closest I ever came to book was reading comic books, which I still do, but now that I'm in it, it's broadened my horizon, and it's opened up a uh, whole new opportunity. Because once I took on the project, I was actually put into contact with another person, Melissa Westbourne from Otis Magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and with that, I'm contributing writer for. So that's where the adventure comes in because I'm part of the lifestyles and leisure living. So I travel and I write a blog about my adventures on there, along with my YouTube. So that's where I get all my inspiration as far as that
That's
Okay.
awesome.
aspect. I
Well,
think
I
I
would
answered.
say Um, this is my fourth writing project. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so my first book, which was How to Become a Millionaire Using Group Homes, that actually took me because I had a coach right there with me. It took me 2 weeks to write.
Wow.
Yeah,
I see why people pay
yeah, because she was really great. And then my second book I did on my own because people kept coming back saying, "Well, That's how you scale a group home. How do you start a group home? So then
Mhm.
I wrote how to start a group home in 90 days. That took me 4 months. Then my third book, it took me like 10 months to write it because I kept having like writer's block. But that one is called how to run a successful group home. And so, and then this Joy 365, this is my fourth project. And
Okay.
it took me 2 weeks to write it. Yeah.
Wow. See, now you got me a little bit worried about writing a book solo. That's a lot of work. I have trouble just trying to edit my videos. That's what takes
Oh,
the longest for me, my video. Uh, so as I was saying, the Joy 365 is what kicked it off for me. But in addition to being a contributing writer, it also opened up the door to be a contributing writer to King Conversations anthology for men, which also went number one on the time, and that was to Mark Wiggins. So
Mhm.
literally for me, between December and January, I've become a two-time best-selling author. Like the crazy
Whoa.
years in the fact that again, I never thought pictured myself as being an author, but then it happened so fast. Now, granted, I'm not as extensive as writing a book. I've only covered 2 pages, right? But still, it's gonna it feels awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what was the most difficult part of writing the book? Even though this is your first book, like what was it difficult for you, or like even with you, Mari, was it what was the most difficult part of writing a book?
The
I would
hard.
say, oh, go ahead, Barry.
You may
Oh,
be sorry, I'm fine with that.
Okay. I was just gonna say this was really hard because I had to get it down to so many words. And
mhm.
so just being able to keep tweaking it, and getting it down, that was hard for me. Because like I said, I just be like blah, 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 blah. I just get it all out and then I have to, hone it, you know, get it more chiseled down. But yeah, so this one was really the hardest. Just getting that one chapter, one page.
I think for me, the the idea process, everything has been pretty much fluid. I found it easy because I just pulled from my own personal experience. So when I was thinking about Joy 365, again, I'm coming off of some difficulties in my life, and I'm talking about reflection. So it's easy to do. With the anthology, is giving bits of men giving bits of advice and life experiences for young men. So I 20 years in the military, I've learned a few things, so let's pass that knowledge on. So for me, the hardest thing right now, I would see would be the promotion and marketing aspect of being an author. A little bit camera shy too, so the whole.
Okay, yeah. I would have to say with Mari about condensing the words down. That was the hardest part for me. But um, so wait, I just direct this to Dr. Mari since this is your first book, Gary. Do you self publish your other or did traditional publishing?
No, self-publish. Yeah, I did self-publishing. I I would say I didn't do it, but the person who did it for me was self-publishing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what advice would you give a first time
Okay, I guess I'll feel this one first.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
so if you feel unsure about it, do it. That is that's the main thing. It's something's propelling you to do it. So you take that leap and go for it. I actually yeah, here we go. I got a quote of mine, someone that is close to my heart, sent me just before I come on for this interview. Because
Mhm.
again, I was doing live for TikTok, and I was unsure about that. Again, seeing
Mhm.
someone behind the camera, going doing things that. But the quote is from Marie Forleo, and it goes, "One of the most underrated secrets to success is to start before you're ready." So I would say to the viewers, that's it. If you want to be successful, even if you don't feel you're ready, go ahead and start it. Because you're going to have people that are going to inspire you, encourage you, and point you in the right direction, which I've had since I started with this and so forth, even into this distributing the writers onwards to the anthology. So,
Okay.
and the other thing I would say is don't be afraid to experiment with your creativity. Again, I just did TikTok when I first got here just for something to do, keep myself active, record my adventures. I translated it into poetry about the places
Mhm.
that I've gone, my experiences going through the whole process. So don't be afraid to step outside of the the normal aspect of what the goal is.
Mhm. Okay. What about you?
I would totally agree with everything Barry just said. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. A lot of people live in fear and, what are people gonna say about me? And over the years, I just learned to do it. Do whatever you wanna do. Just set your mind to it, come up with a plan, do an outline, and just do it.
Okay. Of course, this is directed to you, Murray. Um, do you had a reason why you wanted to do self-publishing versus traditional, or like, have you ever did traditional publishing as well?
No. It's I guess it's probably because my first coach that coached me on how to write a book, that is what
Mhm.
she did, was, like, self-publishing, so that's really all I know. So I've never, um, did it any other way, so
Okay.
no
Okay.
special reason, just maybe someday I'll you know, maybe Oprah will come and tell me to write my story and
Okay, this for both of y'all. When do you first realize you wanted to be a writer?
Mm.
You wanna
When
go first, Murray?
Few minutes
you going,
before,
Barry? You
yeah,
going, Barry?
yeah, I'll go. I was just saying it's probably like 2 minutes before I started this interview. Because, again, I really fancy myself as a writer, and it's just one of those things you didn't realize you wanted to do it until you're actually doing it, and you found what we talking about. We found joy in it. And I've really found joy in writing about what I did
Mhm,
or where I've been.
mhm.
Okay.
I
Alright.
would I would say in the 4th grade, I used to write stories. We would have, like, a weekly, lesson where you had to write a story, and I would come up with these amazing stories that all the kids would be like, "I can't wait till next week." We would have to get up in front of the class and read them, and I was really good. And so, it was 4th grade, and then around 7th grade, when I start smelling boys, my attention got taken off of it. But yeah, it was 4th grade.
You know,
Okay.
it's funny that you mentioned that, Myri, because I remember when I grew up. I didn't like to book reports. We had to do weekly book reports. So I remember sitting at the kitchen table because I get my report card. My mom was mad, so she would make me read a book and then write a book report for her. And I'm sitting at the table going, I don't want to do this. I don't want to write a book report. So,
Wow.
Man.
And here you are, a writer now.
and it's funny too because my mom, when I told her I was doing a book project and then she went #1, she's telling me all her coworkers at work, "Oh yeah, my son, he's an author now." She just took a think about the whole idea. So
Aw.
What are your favorite books to read? Do you have any favorite books to read?
Mm. I I read a lot of personal development books. I think I've read, like, Think and Grow Rich probably 24 times. I just try to I'm big on personal development. I'm big on that with my kids. I just told one of my grandkids, "Go read this book downstairs," you know? I'm just big on reading, but mostly what I like to read is personal development.
What about you?
I've again initially my big thing was picture books. You know, I love my comic books. I still read them. However, since I started writing, I read a few books just to, get a feel for how I want my style to be. I do like World War II uh, novels. I just finished one called Silver Wings, Iron Frost. It's about a U-boat commander and a downed American pilot behind German enemy lines, and they're running from the Nazis because the people captain was a deserter. It was pretty good. And then I got a couple other books that were given to me by a close friend of mine that I have to start because I promised I would start them. So,
Okay.
so we'll say 1.5 right now.
Okay. It's a start. It's a start. Um, how you think book reviews are? Do you think they're important to like? Well, no, I was looking at something else before I got on here, and like the person said they wouldn't even read anything until they saw the book review. It was like they wanted to see the good book reviews and the bad. So, what do y'all take from book reviews?
Mm, um, when it comes to stuff like that, I feel like my taste is my taste. It's kinda like a movie review, a book review. I don't see things the way other people see it, so therefore, I don't really consider reviews to me. I'm gonna read something because I it I read the description on the back and it piqued my interest, and I'm like, "Okay, Imma read this." But yeah, it book reviews to me
Okay.
don't matter.
So I'm more of a visual creature. I'm about the cover. If the cover catches my eye, I'll look at it. Uh, Normally, I would say no. I'm not really interested in book reviews for myself.
Mhm.
However, after having written 2 books now, or been part of 2 books, I'm Garrett. I'm biased. I want to know how my work was and what it looked like from people.
Mhm.
I, I will inquire and ask. So I will say yes. Book reviews are important if you want to gauge how your writing style is affecting the reader.
Okay. Okay. What is your favorite part of being a writer?
Hmm. Being finished? No,
Somebody else said,
you finish that project. I'm like a task person, so when you finish, it's like, "Yes, I finished," you know? So, that's the best part.
I think right now I'm still basking in the accolades. So everything right now is new and exciting. So I'm sure if I have the opportunity to get 4 books under my belt, then I might be moving on towards my side of being finished, and taking a break.
Mhm.
okay. What do you think makes a great story because Mary, you just said you read World War, was it World War II book? Like, what made that a great story?
What made it a great story? Uh,
Hmm.
well, from being on a military aspect, soldiers from different countries, enemies at that, working together for a common goal, which is this case survival. So, like I said, you had a depot captain that didn't like. This was towards the end of the war, so he didn't like how things were going, and he made that decision to stop fighting. So he made him a deserter. Then you have a German-born American pilot bombing his ancestors' homeland, and then he shot down, and now he has to rely on his enemies to get him to the Allies' defensive. It's just a story of again survival. Two people with two different ideologies coming to an understanding.
Okay. What about you, Mari?
That
What makes
sounds like a good movie. I like war movies. I just
Right?
don't like war books. Well, I would say what would make a good book for me, you said the story, but a good book for me would be something that taught me something. Like I said, I'm all about when I read, I want to learn something. I want to, I wanted to open my mind to come up with ideas. So that's why I if like I said, that would make a great movie. I love war movies, but I cannot sit down and read a book like that because, you know, that's the type of books that I like.
Uh, Fun fact: it took me a year to finish that book because
You
again,
did?
yeah, I'm lazy like that. I got other things I'm trying to do. I'm adventuring. I'm a visual person, so
Yeah.
Was that like 500 pages or something?
no, not really. I'm not going to tell you how many pages, but yeah, I should have had it done faster.
Oh, Barry. Hey, you read it. That's all that matters.
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
what was a surprising thing you learned while writing your
I guess for me, that I'm actually pretty decent at it. My, growing up, my mom was always big on vocabulary, but learning new words and things of that nature, being articulate, how to present yourself. Never really translated it into writing. I have a tendency to add words when I talk, so I have to be conscious of when I'm writing not to add too many words to say what you need to say, and then move on.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
I would just say the more that I do it, the better I get. I just feel like the more I work on it, the more books I write, the better I get. And I just be like, wow, you did good.
Okay, and did any of y'all ever experience writer's block? And if so, how do you handle it?
I couldn't hear it. What did you
Oh,
say?
writer's block.
Oh yeah, I did.
So how do you
How did I handle it? I just kept I'm hard on myself, so I just kept trying to push myself, and then I'd be like, "Nope, let me just put it down, take a break," and then I would come back to it. I would say, "Imma come back to it in a week and see what happens." Sometimes I would come back. That's why it took me so long. Sometimes I would come back to it, and I would be like, "I'm not ready for this." So I was just being, I guess, realistic with myself, not beating myself up about it. I was like, "It's gonna happen," because I'm the type of person, I finish things. Like I said, I like to be finished. But but yeah, I took my time and just got back to it and finished it.
For me, I haven't had the pleasure of experiencing writer's block. Again, I had so much inspiration inspiration around me to pull from. And then also, again, I'm not writing a solo book. I'm just jumping on the bandwagon with other co-authors and that provide people some solutions. So I think when if I decide to pull that trigger and write my own book, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to experience it. But for
Okay.
right now, I'm just I'm just enjoying the ride.
Okay. Well, let me before we end, I want to find out where the audience can find you at. Like, do you have social media, websites, whatever?
Oh, yes. So you can find me under Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, all as the Myrie Hayes.
So for me, I'm on Facebook, and my name varies so much. But I also have my website, which is twowheelfreedom.com. And then also on TikTok and Instagram, I go by Two Wheel Freedom as well.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for coming on our show, and you should be seeing this. I think she's streams on Facebook as well. Hopefully, I can try to get a copy of it as well. But thank you for coming on the show. If you want to come back, just let me know. So again, audience, this is the artist in you, and I'm bye bye.
All right, thank